what an international education means for the students' contribution to India. How does it really make a change on the ground as far as India is concerned? That's what we're looking at today. Let me introduce my panel right away, people who need no introduction, but here we go. Dr. Shyama Chona, one of India's top educationists and social activists. Ravneet Pava, Director, South Asia, Deakin University. Sameer Pathak, Senior Manager at Coca-Cola India. And of course, Arvind, winner of that scholarship. Viewers now familiar with you, Arvind, but tell me, has it sunk in?
Well,
I have my doubts.
I have my doubts too. It was, the feeling was, I cannot explain it. It was almost like, I remember a couple of years ago, Talaivar, as we call Rajnikant, in the NDTV Living Legends, he told, believe in miracles, miracles do happen. Right. So it was one such day for me yesterday, so it was amazing.
What did your family say when you made that call?
My dad's initial reaction was, he asked me, is there any proof? so I asked him, I told him, Dad, I just won 100% tuition fee, so how are you feeling? So he's like, okay, did they take any picture of you? Did you have anything on hand? Yeah. So no one could.
Do we have something to hold them to their word? What if they go back? Yeah. So I think that's a reaction of any parent. Right, Dr. Chona, ma'am, when you hear people like Arvind, you hear students like Arvind, all excited, all eager to go. He has, of course, managed to impress us with his presentation and all of that the other day. But what would you say to him? What is the one thing that he should do when it's when we talk about coming back, contributing to India, whatever little effort that you believe that he ought to make?
I'm so definite that his, firstly, achievement will be so motivating to others, because Deakin is a name to reckon with, and he's going for sports post-graduation. It'll change the entire attitude of the people of India towards sports, and he's going to do his post-grad in it. Secondly, I think when they emulate his efforts, they will understand the seriousness of the matter and his global experience, how it will change the attitude of the people here. I'm very confident that such an achievement not only means a volume to him, but it means millions to the rest of the people in this country who have tried, but they didn't make it. He made it. So there is a difference, and I think he's going to make a difference to that difference.
Right, difference to that different. Ravneet, you know, in all your experience, there are of course loads of students who go there, pursue a whole host of fields, courses and all of that. Many of them of course want to come back, like our winner from last year wanted to come back and sort of pursue journalism in India and sort of want to do something there. How have you seen this pan out when we talk about using the experience there, the international education and exposure there, and then coming back and sort of using it here in India, a completely different scenario, of course, when you come back?
Yeah. I think, Natasha, it's quite interesting. Most of the students are quite keen to stay back for an initial few years because they like to take the global experience into play. But over a period of time, they're all very keen to come back. You know, India is buzzing, right? And they're keen to contribute back to India. I have to say that some of them are really idealistic, and when they come and hit the ground, they find the reality, and it's a reality check for them. But the way they contribute, I think, is immensely, because they bring with them this whole change of attitude, like Dr. Chona was saying. The change of attitude, the change and the need to make a difference is very strong, because I've gone there, I've learned something, I need to bring this back to my country, and I need to make a difference.
So I because this is where I want to shine. Very many of them, of course, increasingly saying, I want to come back, and I want to do something here.
We are seeing this now over, I think, in the last couple of years. This whole thing about brain drain is actually not really brain drain. You know, people are actually going, getting good quality education, global experiences, and coming back and then contributing. And they're very, very strong and very much in belief that they are going to be coming back and making a difference.
Right.
So I think that's something that has changed over the years.
Right. Sameer, from an industry perspective, from an employer's perspective, when you when you have students like this sitting in front of you, what do you really expect them to deliver on?
See, most importantly, when somebody goes abroad and takes education at a prestigious university and international education to boot, I think one of the most important things that a person has to accomplish is not only in-class learning, but also outside.
Right.
There is a lot that the world offers, which is not present in the class.
Right.
The holistic nature of education, when it comes together both in class and out class, it develops the person in a certain way. the ability of that candidate to then interact at various forums with different kinds of people, be able to present ideas, absorb ideas from others, go through them, sift out what will work, what will not work. That's what differentiates any employee from the other. That's how decision making happens in any organization.
Right.
And that's what any organization would expect when the candidate comes back and joins, is with the exposure, with the knowledge that the person has gained, how is he able to absorb the current circumstances,
Right.
able to infuse new ideas, new approach, new direction, and then show results.
Right.
And that
Right.
and that's the advantage when you set yourself out of the country and go into completely different world. You get that much more exposure
Right.
and that much more ability to see things differently.
Right.
And that's what one would expect when it comes back.
Right. We don't mean to overwhelm you, so don't think that really is the idea. But Dr. Chona, this is the learning outside textbooks. Now, for many years, we've argued that India sort of needs to realize that there is a lot of learning that happens outside the classroom that our students are missing out on, especially in recent years. There's been a lot of sort of, if I may say, hand-wringing and chest beating on, what are we doing? We're chasing those marks. It's 100% or nothing. Do you see realistically this paradigm changing in the country? Because now it's 100% or nothing.
No, absolutely. I work in absolute terms, because for me, or for any educationist, education is experience, education is exposure, and a student who studies in a diverse global environment obviously creates a greater understanding within him, which can be applied in the country for more peace, for more tolerance, for more listening, for more understanding. And when you are mingling with a large number of cultures, you realize that you are one spot in this huge universe, and you attain modesty. That modesty might run away when you are a success in this country, but when you are one among many successful ones, then you realize that there is so much more to cover, miles to go.
Right.
I think those are some of the learnings that you have, and Deakin is a perfect place. I mean, the ambience, I've been there myself, and I wish I was born 30 years later, so to have experienced an award like this.
I'm sure Ravneet can still swing
Yes,
something
I
for
know.
you.
I
you
have
know,
to be,
so you just
I have
need
to be reborn.
sound her out.
actually.
We know she
I
has
have
the
to be
power.
reborn. But
Right.
quickly, I think they'll get a new mission, they'll get a new vision. And I think this international experience away from rote learning will be more applicable.
Right.
It will be less rigid, and they will also understand the uniqueness of their presence among the global rest of them,
Right.
so that they're able to bring in the Gandhi, I
Right.
hope,
Right.
and the peace and the
Right.
tolerance and
Right.
the non-violence,
Right.
which I think are the needs
This
of
is
the
a
day.
very important point, because it's beyond just coming back and getting that dream job or that big fat salary or sort of being a success really in field. It's also everything else that you do, the sort of the more global citizen, the culture, the values and all of that. If I were to ask you, what do you believe are the two, and again, there's no need to feel overwhelmed, but what do you believe are the things that you are looking forward to, from being an international student, from this sort of global experience, as it were?
I am looking forward to a couple of things. Let me start from where I come from and where I worked. I have done engineering, and then I took to a cricket ball where everyone else are not used to that. They go to their software jobs, or they go to the so it was very difficult on me. After that, I took to sports events. I joined the cricket academy, and I saw how cricket or any other sport is conducted here. And I joined a sports management firm then, and I had an opportunity this year, 2015, to work for the ICC Cricket World Cup 2015. So that's the first time I got a whiff of how Australia sees sports. So a foreign nation sees sports. So from the state conducted league level that I have played, and corporate tournaments that I've conducted, and to
So a whole new world basically opened up for you, sort of like an eye opener.
It is an eye opener. They have businesses around, or they have so much around small sports like netball, small sports like or even a charitable for blind, for the disabled, any sports. They have businesses, they have merchandising around that, they have marketing around that,
Right.
and those are something which really amused me. So I thought there's nothing happening of that sort here. We are conducting tournaments, there's no proper marketing, we're not
Right.
going to the grassroots.
And that's
we're
what
not going inside.
that's what you're hoping
That's
to tap.
exactly what I'm hoping
That's what
to.
you're hoping
Yeah,
to tap.
exactly.
And